The acrid smoke clawed at my lungs like a living thing, twisting deeper with every ragged breath as flames roared up the walls of my apartment building, devouring everything in their path. I stumbled through the hallway, eyes streaming, heart pounding against my ribs like it wanted to break free, when a strong arm wrapped around my waist and yanked me back from the inferno's edge. "I've got you." A voice cut through the chaos, steady and sure, belonging to the firefighter whose face I would never forget. Sharp jawline smudged with soot, green eyes fierce with determination under his helmet. As he carried me down the stairs and into the cool night air, where sirens wailed and my world had just burned to ash. That was 6 months ago, and I'd replayed that moment 1,000 times, wondering if heroes like him were real or just figments of desperation. But fate, it seemed, had a twisted sense of humor. I spotted him again at the corner coffee shop on my block in Chicago's Lincoln Park neighborhood, the kind of place where baristas knew your order by heart and the air smelled of fresh grounds and possibility. I was nursing a black coffee, staring at my laptop screen where job applications blurred into meaningless pixels. My graphic design gigs had dried up after the fire destroyed my portfolio and half my confidence, when the bell above the door jingled, and there he was, striding in like he owned the morning rush. He didn't see me at first, too busy shrugging off his gym bag and scanning the menu board with that same focused intensity I'd glimpsed through the smoke. Jordan Hale. I'd learned his name later from the news clip that went semi-viral. Local hero saves 10 from blaze. 28, out and proud, according to a quick Google dive I'd done in a moment of weakness. Me? Alex Rivera, 27, still figuring out how to say, "I'm gay," without the weight of my conservative family's side eyes crushing me. We'd exchanged nods at a couple of community events post-fire, fundraisers for fire victims, awkward small talk about recovery. But this felt different, unscripted. He turned, coffee in hand, and our eyes locked. A slow grin spread across his face, crinkling the corners of those green eyes. "Alex, right? The guy who owes me a thank you dinner." His voice was lighter without the helmet, laced with that Midwestern drawl that made everything sound like an invitation. I laughed, a real one, surprising myself. "Dinner?" I thought saving lives came with hazard pay. We chatted for 20 minutes. About the fire's aftermath, how I'd crashed on my best friend Mia's couch for weeks, piecing together a new life from salvaged sketches and sheer stubbornness. Mia, my rock since college, the one who dragged me out to pride parades and whispered, "You're enough, Alex, just as you are." She was the straight ally every queer kid dreamed of, but even she couldn't fill the void of not having said it to my parents yet. Jordan lingered, pulling up a stool uninvited, his knee brushing mine under the table in a way that sent a spark up my spine unrelated to any blaze. "Fate's funny," he said, stirring his latte absent-mindedly. "Doesn't give many second chances. You gonna waste this one hiding behind that screen?" I wanted to argue, to tell him my life's wreckage wasn't a rom-com plot, but his gaze held me, warm and unflinching. By the time he left, we'd swapped numbers, and I was left staring at the digits like they were a lifeline. The coincidences piled up after that, each one chipping away at my defenses. A week later, at the neighborhood farmer's market on a crisp Saturday morning, I was haggling over heirloom tomatoes when a shadow fell over my basket. "Stalking me now?" Jordan teased, holding up a bunch of kale like a trophy. He was off-duty, in faded jeans and a threadbare Bulls hoodie that hugged his broad shoulders just right. We wandered the stalls together, sampling cheeses and dodging tourists, his laugh booming over the crowd whenever I cracked a dry joke about my post-apocalyptic diet of ramen and regret. It felt easy, dangerously so. Jordan talked about growing up in the suburbs, coming out at 16 to parents who hugged him tighter instead of pushing away. "They threw me a party," he said, popping a strawberry into his mouth. Cake said, "Welcome to the rainbow side." Envy twisted in my gut, not bitter, just a quiet ache for what might never be. My family back in the suburbs of Naperville, Dad with his golf buddies and Mom with her church group. They loved me, sure, but the unspoken rule hung heavy. Don't rock the boat. Especially not with that phase I'd buried under straight-laced dates and forced smiles. As we sat on a bench overlooking the green, Jordan's hand grazed my arm while pointing out a street performer's fire-juggling act. Irony, He murmured, and I swear the air between us crackled. But I pulled back, mumbling about errands, fleeing before the pull became too strong. Mia noticed the shift immediately that night, as we split a pizza on her tiny balcony overlooking the brownstones. "Spill," she demanded, her dark curls tied back, eyes sharp behind her glasses. Mia was a teacher, all fierce empathy and no bullshit advice. "You've got that glow. The one that says, hot firefighter alert." I groaned, burying my face in my hands. "It's nothing. Coincidences." "Bull. You've been smiling at your phone like it's sending nudes." She paused, softening. "Alex, after the fire. You deserve this. Someone who sees you, really sees you." But doubt not at me. What if Jordan was just playing hero? What if I let him in and the smoke cleared to reveal I wasn't worth the rescue? The third encounter hit like a gut punch at the annual Pride block party in Boys Town, where rainbow flags snapped in the breeze and bass thumped from food trucks. I'd gone with Mia, determined to dip my toe back into the scene, flirty glances over beers, dancing under string lights, but my heart wasn't in it. Too many ghosts. The ex who'd bailed after I lost my apartment, whispering, "It's too much drama," as if my queerness was the real casualty. Then, through the crowd, Jordan emerged, laughing with a group of off-duty first responders, his shirt sleeves rolled up to reveal tattooed forearms, a phoenix rising from ashes, fittingly. Our eyes met across the street, and he broke away, weaving toward me with 2 plastic cups of something fruity. "Fate again," he said, handing me one. Or maybe I hoped. We danced, bodies close in the press of strangers, his hand steady on my hip as if he'd carried me from flames 100 times. Whispers of conversation floated between songs, his shifts at the station, my sketches for a new freelance pitch. For the first time since the fire, I felt anchored, not adrift. But as the night peaked, fireworks bursting overhead, a familiar voice sliced through. "Alex." My sister Elena, arm in arm with her husband, frozen mid-step on the sidewalk. She'd come into the city for a concert, oblivious to the party's vibe until now. Her eyes darted from me to Jordan, widening in that mix of shock and pity I knew too well. "Elena, hey." I stammered, stepping back, the cup suddenly too cold in my hand. She recovered with a tight smile, glancing at Jordan. "Who's your friend?" "Jordan. He helped me out once." The half-truth burned. They exchanged pleasantries, but Elena's grip on her husband's arm tightened, her gaze lingering like she was cataloging flaws. As they walked away, she called over her shoulder. "Call Mom soon, okay? We miss you." The high crashed. Jordan frowned, sensing the chill. "Everything good?" "Yeah. Family stuff." I forced a grin, but inside, the old walls slammed up. How could I drag him into that mess? He deserved uncomplicated, not my tangled roots. We parted with a hug that lingered too long, his breath warm against my ear. "Don't vanish on me, Alex. Second chances are rare." I nodded, but as I watched him melt into the crowd, doubt whispered louder than the music. What if this was the spark that ignited everything I'd fought to contain? Weeks blurred into a rhythm of stolen moments and near misses, each encounter pulling me deeper into Jordan's orbit while the shadows of my past loomed larger. Our texts evolved from casual check-ins, survived another shift, nailed that client pitch, to late-night confessions traded under the guise of insomnia. He shared stories of bunker gear singed by close calls, the brotherhood at Station 12 that felt like family, and the quiet fear that one day, the flames would win. I opened up about the fire's theft, not just my stuff, but pieces of myself, leaving me sketching half-finished faces in my notebook, wondering if I'd ever draw a whole one again. One rainy Tuesday, he showed up at Mia's door with takeout from that Thai place on Halstead, unannounced but welcome. "Fate's GPS is glitchy," he joked, shaking water from his hair as Mia buzzed him up. We ate cross-legged on the living room floor, rain pattering against the windows like impatient fingers, while Mia grilled him on everything from his favorite Tarantino flick to his stance on pineapple pizza. "Debatable," he declared, earning her seal of approval. "Your trouble," she said later, after he'd gone, her arm slung around my shoulders as we cleaned up. "Good trouble." But trouble found me first. The next day, my phone buzzed with a text from Elena. "Dinner at home this weekend? Mom's asking. Dad's grilling. Bring a date if you want." The casual offer hid barbs. Bring a date, meaning a nice girl to ease their worries. I stared at the screen, thumb hovering, until Jordan's name popped up. Coffee run? My treat. I met him at the shop, the one where it started, but my mood soured the steam from our mugs. Family dinner, I blurted after a beat of silence. They don't know. About me. Or us, if there's an us. Jordan leaned back, expression unreadable. And you want to keep it that way? The question stung, fair but raw. It's not that simple. They've got their world. Church, the neighbors. Rocking it means losing them. He nodded slowly, fingers tracing the rim of his cup. I get it. My folks were easy mode. But hiding? That's a slow burn, Alex. Eats you from the inside. We left it there, the air thick with unsaid things. But he walked me to the train, his hand brushing mine in a deliberate not accident. Whatever you decide, I'm here. Fate dragged me back for a reason. The weekend arrived like a storm front, Elena's minivan pulling up to the old brick house in Naperville where I'd grown up, the lawn manicured, the mailbox still reading Rivera Family in cheerful script. Mom enveloped me in a hug scented with lavender and worry, Dad clapping my back with a good to see you, son, his eyes skimming past the lack of a +1. Dinner was pot roast and small talk. Work, weather, Elena's kids' soccer triumphs, until Mom's fork paused midair. Alex, honey, you seem distant. Everything okay since the fire? I swallowed, the meat sticking in my throat. Yeah, just rebuilding. Got a new gig designing logos for a queer youth center. The word queer landed like a skipped stone, rippling silence. Dad cleared his throat. That's noble. Helping kids. Elena shot me a look, supportive, but edged with caution. It's great, Alex. Really. But the undercurrent pulled strong. Later, as I helped with dishes, Mom whispered, we pray for you every night. For guidance. Her hand on my arm trembled, love and fear intertwined. I fled to the porch, phone in hand, texting Jordan. Survived. Barely. His reply came swift. Want company? Or space? Space, I typed, but deleted it. Company. He arrived 20 minutes later, tires crunching gravel, stepping out in jeans and a hoodie that screamed off-duty hero. Figured you'd need backup, he said, holding up a six-pack. We sat on the swing, stars pricking the suburban sky, and I spilled it all. The prayers, the pauses, the ache of half-truths. Jordan listened, then cracked a beer, handing it over. You're brave as hell, you know that? Facing flames twice over. We talked until crickets drowned the house lights, his shoulders solid against mine. When Elena emerged, yawning, her eyes widened at the scene. Two guys, beers, easy closeness. Friend from the city? She asked, voice neutral. Yeah, I said, meeting her gaze. Someone important. She nodded, a flicker of understanding passing before she retreated inside. Jordan squeezed my knee, brief but electric. One step, but steps led to stumbles. The following week, at a station barbecue in a park off Lakeshore Drive, Jordan invited me as his +1, the air thick with charcoal smoke and laughter from his crew. I met them all, big-hearted guys who ribbed Jordan about his soft spot for strays, clapping my back like I'd always been there. It felt like belonging, until a photographer from the local paper snapped candids for a feature on community heroes. The article dropped online Monday. Firefighter Jordan Hale, saving lives, one heart at a time. There I was, arm around his waist in a group shot, captioned, Hale with friend Alex Rivera, a fire survivor turned supporter. Innocent enough, but Elena forwarded it to the family chat with a single emoji. Mom called that night, voice quivering. Alex, the paper. Is that your friend? The one from the fire? My stomach dropped. Yeah, Mom. Jordan. He's more than a friend. Silence stretched, then a soft sob. We love you. But this. It's a choice, right? We can help you find the right path. The words gutted me, old wounds reopening. I hung up, tears hot, and drove to the station, finding Jordan in the gear room, polishing helmets. They think it's a phase, I choked out. Like I'm broken. He pulled me into a hug, gear clanking softly. You're not. And they're wrong. We stood there, his heartbeat steady against mine, until anger simmered into resolve. Come out with me. Not hiding anymore. I nodded, but fear clawed back. What if fate's second chance was just another blaze? The unraveling accelerated after that call, threads of my life fraying under the strain of half-kept secrets and mounting pressures. Work picked up, a steady contract with that queer youth center, designing murals of intertwined hands and bold colors that mirrored the chaos in my chest. But every late night at my drafting table brought Jordan's texts, "Miss your face," or photos of sunsets over the lake, captioned fate's reminder. They anchored me, yet guilt shadowed each ping. Mia tried mediating, hosting intervention dinners, where she'd plate lasagna and prod gently. "Your mom's not the villain, Alex. She's scared. But so are you." Scared didn't cover it. Elena visited my new studio apartment in Wicker Park, boxes still half unpacked, and sat on the edge of my bed with a sigh. "Mom's a mess. Dad's pretending it's fine, but he's golfing double time. They want to meet him. Properly." My pulse raced. To what? Stage an intervention? No. To understand. Her eyes, so like mine, pleaded. "Give them a chance. Like you gave him." I agreed, reluctantly, setting a dinner date at a neutral Italian spot downtown. Public enough to keep tempers in check, private enough for truths. Jordan prepped like it was a shift, ironed shirt, rehearsed lines about respect and patience. "We're a team," he said, kissing my temple in the car. "I've got your back." The restaurant hummed with clinking glasses and candlelight, Mom and Dad arriving stiff in their Sunday best, Elena playing buffer with her easy chatter. Small talk flowed like watered wine. Compliments on the menu, weather gripes, until entrees arrived and Dad cleared his throat. "So, Jordan, firefighting. Dangerous work." Jordan met his gaze steadily. "It is, sir. But rewarding. Like Alex, his designs light up spaces, make them safer for kids who need it." Mom's fork trembled. "The center. It's for gay youth," I supplied, voice firmer than I felt. "Kids like I was. Hiding, hurting." The table stilled. Dad's jaw tightened. "Son, we raised you better. This life's not God's plan." Jordan's hand found mine under the table, a silent fortify. "With respect, Mr. Rivera loves the plan. Alex is the best man I know, brave, kind. He's not lost, he's found." Mom's eyes welled. "But what about grandkids? Family?" Elena jumped in. "Mom, times change. I'm proud of him." Her support cracked the ice, but Dad pushed back, voice rising. "Pride? This is confusion." The argument escalated, words like shrapnel, sin, choice, heartbreak, until I stood, chair scraping. "I'm gay, Dad. Not confused. And Jordan's part of me now." We left amid stunned silence, the city lights blurring as tears fell. Outside, Jordan held me against the brick wall, rain starting to spit. "You did it. That's huge." But I lost them. Sobs racked me, raw and unrelenting. He tilted my chin up. "You gained you. And me. We'll build our family." In the days that followed, apologies trickled in, Elena's texts first, then Mom's halting voicemail. "We were wrong. Come home." Dad's came last, a gruff, "Talk soon." Healing, tentative. But fate wasn't done twisting. A week later, at the youth center's opening gala, a warehouse transformed with my murals glowing under spotlights. Jordan arrived late, face ashen. Call from the station. False alarm, but "I need to tell you something." We stepped into a side room, bass muffled. "Remember that photographer?" The article got picked up by a national blog. "Hero firefighter's secret romance. They outed us. Dug into your family, the fire. It's everywhere." Horror iced my veins. Social media exploded. Supportive cheers from queer communities, but vicious trolls too. Slurs, threats, my parents' names dragged in. Mia called, furious, "Lawyer up. This is bullshit." Worse, a message from an unknown number. "Watching you, hero." One spark, and it all burns again. Stalker? Arsonist grudge? Paranoia bloomed. Jordan insisted on escorts to shifts, but tension seeped into us. Arguments over caution, my sketches turning dark with jagged lines. The climax shattered on a stormy night, thunder rumbling as I worked late at the center. Lights flickered, then died, plunging the space into black. Footsteps echoed, heavy and deliberate. "Jordan," I called, heart slamming. A figure lunged from the shadows, reeking of gasoline, mask obscuring his face. "You think you can play house?" he snarled, voice distorted but familiar. "Wait, from the station barbecue? One of the crew?" I backed away, knocking over easels, paint cans clattering. Who are you? Someone who knows fags like you ruin everything. He swung a rag, lighter flicking. Flames whooshed, licking the murals, my heart's work. I bolted for the door, phone slipping from sweat-slick hands, dialing Jordan as sirens wailed distant. Help! Fire center. He was there in minutes, bursting through smoke with his team, tackling the intruder as I coughed against the wall. The man unmasked, Tyler, a junior firefighter, bitter over a promotion Jordan got, twisted by his own closet hate. You too. Flaunting it. He spat as cuffs clicked. In the aftermath, as medics checked me, Jordan knelt, soot-streaked. I thought I lost you. You saved me. Again. I pulled him close, ignoring the crowd, kissing him fierce and unapologetic. Cameras flashed, but this time it was ours. The blaze made headlines. Arson foiled at youth center. Hate crime thwarted by heroes, sparking donations, vigils. My family showed up at the hospital, Mom hugging Jordan like a son, Dad muttering, "You protected ours." Thank you. Elena grinned. Told you. Rebuilding the center became communal, Jordan's crew painting, Mia organizing, even Dad hauling supplies. My murals rose anew, brighter, intertwined with phoenixes for Jordan. Months later, on our rooftop, the one from that first real talk, we watched fireworks over the lake. Fate's second chance, he murmured, ring box in hand. Simple band, engraved, not many, but this one's ours. I said yes, tears mixing with laughter, as the city sparkled below. Love wasn't a blaze to fear, it was the light that endured.